face and shake your head like black folk do when they mean what they say, and tell your neighbor, I know I'm ready now because I've had my share of life's ups and downs. I know I'm ready now. I've been wounded in the house of my friends. I know I'm ready now. I've been stabbed in my back, and I'm ready. Yes! Yes! Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, you're looking at me now, but you don't know what I've been through to get where I am. Tell your neighbor, neighbor, I've been hurt, I've been wounded, I've been talked about, I've been mistreated, but my mind is made up and my heart is fixed. I'm going all the way. Yes. If I was in a Baptist church, oh Lord, right along in here, those Baptist deacons, when I get to this point in my message, over in the Baptist church, there's some old Baptist deacons that would be talking to me right now, and they would be telling me, say a word, sir. Say a word, sir. I'm just wondering, can I get somebody to tell me? Yes, I want to say a word. Yeah. I'm calling. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you, my leader. Thank you, general board members, for giving me this opportunity. But the reason I'm preaching tonight is not because I want some notoriety, but I owe God. I'm a debtor. He picked me up. He turned me around. Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna quit, Brother Porter. But the bishop didn't tell me. You told me. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I am a debtor. I owe God. Tell him I got to praise him. I owe God. I've got to witness. I owe God. I've got to tell the story. I owe God. Every one of y'all that know you owe God, just wave your hand all over the building and lift that hand and say, Lord, if you need somebody, here am I. Oh, yes. Here am I. You can use me. I owe you. I'm through after this. Can I tell my story? Can I tell my story? I ain't gonna tell it unless you tell me to tell it. Can I tell my story? Somebody ought to say, tell your story. Here is the story I want to leave with you, and my brothers and my sisters. I want to tell you tonight, everything that you need is in the gospel, is in Jesus, is in Jesus. Come on, help me preach it, and tell your neighbor, neighbor, everything you need is in the Lord. It's in Jesus. in Jesus. I'm taking my seat, but I'm going to leave with my story. And there was a story. You don't want to hear me. There was a story, mother, about a rich man. And the rich man had everything. He had cattle, he had paintings, he had fine jewelry, he had a Mercedes Benz, he had a mansion and a condominium. You don't hear me, but I heard, y'all ain't gonna help me here. I said I heard the rich man, when he looked at his wife and said, honey, I got all the material things that I ever desired, but there is one thing I don't have that I want more than anything. I want me a son so I can leave my heritage to. Well, his wife got pregnant, yes, but she died in childbirth, and 3 months later the rich man's son died of an early disease, yes, and a few months later the rich man himself, he died of a broken heart, yes, but he left on record with his attorney. He said, when I die, I want you to auction, have a big auction, and auction off all of my goods. Since I have no son, just auction them off to the highest bidder. Well, the auction opened up, and the auctioneer came to the desk, took his gavel, hit the desk, and said, ladies and gentlemen, the auction is now open. You can bid on the rich man's goods. Somebody was waiting for the car. Somebody else was waiting on the mansion. But the first item up was a portrait of the rich man's dead son. The auctioneer said, all right, ladies and gentlemen, the auction is now open. You can bid. The first item is a portrait of the rich man's son. Yes. Well, he said, go in once. Nobody bid it. He said, go in twice. Nobody bid it. And before he could close it, an old lady stepped out from the rear and said, Mr. Auctioneer, I don't have a lot of money, but I'll bid $3 on that portrait. Yes. He opened back up the bids and said, $3 going once, $3 going twice. Nobody bid it against the old lady. So he looked out on the old lady and said, the portrait is yours. He looked back on the audience and said, ladies and gentlemen, the auction is now closed. Yes! Yes! They began to scream. What about the mansion? What about the Mercedes? What about the fine jewelry? The auctioneer looked